Yo, what's going on, Top Shot people? My name is Eric. My Top Shot name is Nifty Sports, NFTY Sports. I'm back with another quick video here on NBA Top Shot. In this video, we are going to go over the current state of the market. There was a huge pump yesterday that came out since my last video. So I wanted to talk about that for just a little bit here and the timing of how things quickly move on Top Shot. Next, we're going to get into the active challenges. And finally, we're going to talk just a little bit about, upon your requests, the Cool Cats Challenge and the 9 Lives Lounge announcement that came out on Friday. So it's a great video here as usual. I want to shed some perspective on that 9 Lives, and I want to stay as neutral as possible. But I do have some thoughts and feelings on, how they did the 9 Lives, both ways as it crumbles. So stick around till the end of the video. Just wanted to quick update you with everything that's going on for the giveaway tomorrow. We are still on. We're getting a lot of solid response on that last video that I posted about the giveaway. So tomorrow we will be giving away LeBron James, Giannis, and a Devin Booker, which I am super excited to do. So let's get into it here. Drop your Top Shot name in the comment section of that last video if you want to still be entered into that giveaway. So we will jump into things. And at first, I wanted to look at this Top Shot overall market and shed some light on my time in Top Shot since February, right? We're looking at a $724 million market cap right now. We were looking at a market cap of, I want to say, I'm doing this stuff all the top of my head, I think it was 559 just about a week ago. So it's taken a significant jump by about $200 million, not quite, maybe $150 million since then. So a lot of you maybe have seen bumps in the values of your account. My account went up about 23% yesterday. A lot of it was because of some smart buys that I made over the past month. But now I've also already started to sell, liquidate some stuff that I don't want, some stuff that I made some bad buys on in the past. And I am being patient again because it looks like some of the stuff that I was looking at sniping has already started to stable out. So that is how fast things can change on Top Shot, you all. Just be careful. Make sure you're comfortable with the money that you're putting into the market. And it's never a terrible idea to stay liquid so that if you see something that's on your wish list that you want really bad, then you can pick that up. So if you have any questions, a couple of you have been asking me in the comments section, what would you do in this situation? I'm always down to give you my honest opinion. And of course, none of this is financial advice. I've definitely made some good moves on Top Shot, and I've definitely made some moves that I could have gone a little bit different ways. So you got to live and you got to learn with all of them. All right, we'll move into the current active challenges here, and we'll just go over these real quick. There is a legendary challenge and there's a metallic gold challenge for CP3. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pop into live token and do just an aerial view of everything. So in order to complete the legendary challenge, that's the Drew Holiday strip from Devin Booker, then the alley-oop to Giannis, by far the best moment of the playoffs this year. Just such an epic and incredible moment. You gotta shell out $11,500 to get this one done. There's only 51 collectors who have completed it, and it goes until the 12th, which is Thursday. Obviously I'm not doing this. If you have the Giannis that you pulled from a pack, that would be highly tempting to do. I don't know if I would do it. I would probably flip the Giannis right now and buy back into it later. That's always a strategy that you can do during challenges. You want to sell at the top. And then if you want the moments later, then you can buy back in. Hopefully they do something in season 3 to mitigate against that. I don't know if it's going to be completely possible to do, but hey, sometimes the dollars just have to make sense, right? And even if it's a moment that you really like and you want to keep, it's going to be really tough holding on to that moment through a challenge where it pumps up, maybe even double the price, and then watch the moment dump back down to, half or a fourth of the price after the challenge is complete. I know everything on the LeBron James MGLE challenge that I did, made another video on that. It went down by 75%. So, or 80%. I mean, Draymond Green was going for 500. Now you can pick it up for 100. So if you had that moment and you weren't completing that challenge, you could have sold it for 500. You could have bought 5 of them with that profit. So it's just food for thought. And I know some people will say, hey, well, that's flipping. And it's like, well, sometimes flipping makes sense, right? So if you're able to buy 5 at the same moment for the price that you sell one just about a week later, then that's the move that I'm going to make every single time. All right, we'll move into the Metallic Gold Challenge here. The Metallic Gold Challenge is for CP3. It costs 3,300 to complete. 9,600 have completed it. The crazy thing about this is, and I don't know exactly what happened. So if you know the answer to this, then let me know in the comment section here. But initially, when this challenge was dropped, I do not believe that Lamelo Ball was included in it, and they may have changed it up and put Lamelo in later, right? So initially, right when the challenge came out, I saw that Quickly was the bottleneck. I own a Quickly, so I was happy about that, and I was going to sell it during this challenge. And then later, when I checked it, Lamelo Ball was added, and now Lamelo Ball is the bottleneck, which is a pretty huge bottleneck, which is why only 96 people have completed this CP3 right now, right? So, I sold my Quickly. I pulled it in my legendary pack. I sold my Quickly. I thought it was the best time to do it. It's a challenge. I do plan on maybe taking a look at it depending on how far it goes after this challenge. I don't think it'll take too huge of a dip, but I think I'll be able to pick it up for maybe around the 150 range or maybe even less. I'll just have to sit and wait and see. And if not, then maybe it's not the time to pick it up, right? So I do like that moment a lot, and I'm definitely going to keep my eye on it over the weekend when it takes that dip. So that's another thing to keep in mind. We will go now into the cool cats, right? And, as a lot of you know, I sold off my Lamelo cool cat prior to the MJLE dropping, and I sold off my Luka cool cat at the same time. I thought that I was going to have an opportunity to buy back in at a lower price. I did not have an opportunity to buy back in at a lower price. The 9 Lives Lounge was a little bit too big of a risk for me, and we'll get into that just right here. The 9 Lives Lounge was a little bit too big of a risk for me because I hadn't heard anything about it. I didn't know what was going to come out. And I had a feeling that Lamelo was going to take a dip after the MGLE was released, which it did. It went down to 875. I was expecting it to go lower. Okay, Luka went down to 400. I was expecting it to go just slightly below 400. But now those, obviously, if you've been paying attention, they've gone to the moon, right? So now it's really hard to get back into Cool Cats at this point. So I've decided to sell all my other Cool Cats moments on this news. And I'll give you a little bit of a insight into my Cool Cats journey. Is that's the first thing I ever went after on Top Shot, right? So I got in February 28th, and I started buying up all these Cool Cats. Let's take a look at my account right now. It's up 10.74% in the past 24 hours, but yesterday it was up 24%, right? So I was in the red about $8,000. Now I'm in the red about $2,000. My value has gone up. My percentile has gone from 0.6 to a 0.4. And that is based on a lot of the moments, like I said, my top 10 moments that I've bought over the past, month, right? But back to the Cool Cats, it was the first thing that I went after. And being new to Top Shot, I liked all these moments. I liked that they were branded as a new set. There was some rarity to them. I thought holding the set long term was going to be pretty awesome. But the values back then were just so inflated. So people were buying into these moments, and I'll show you exactly what happened later on. But people were buying into these moments and just getting absolutely crushed, like 90% wise on their the value of their moments. So it's a really, really tough thing to hold on to, especially when they kept on dangling the carrot further and further for the master challenge, right? With the Lamelo Ball coming out, right? So what you saw is a lot of people get out when they had an opportunity to break even or take a loss. That is what I did. But there's still people that are heavily in the red, right? And I can see why people out there think that, you know, they're giving these cool cat whales like all this preferential treatment and this, that, and the other. But I don't think it's just the whales that, you know, are out there collecting cool cats. A lot of them maybe right now are. A lot of the ones that are buying up the, you know, the Lamelos and, you know, the Lukas, sure, right now they're the whales, right? But, you know, back when this thing started, back when people got in February and started buying these cool cats, like, you know, I'll give you an example of some of mine. It was just a huge hit to the account value. So a lot of people just kind of bailed and like lost a lot of confidence in Top Shot because of that. So I feel both sides, right? I feel for the people who, you know, think that Cool Cats gets all the perks and that it's not fair. And then I also feel for the people who bought into Cool Cats at super high values and their account's just going to be in the red for a long, long, long time to come, no matter what Lamelo and Luka are doing right now. So let's jump into what some of the perks are for the 9 Lives Lounge. And I'm sure you guys have all read this. So I just want to, you know, high step it. Basically conversation with the NBA All-Star, discussion with the Top Shot GM, you know, chat with the VP of Dapper Labs, Q&A with CEO Roham, a private support channel. You know, they're going to do a raffle every weekday until the season starts for a NBA jersey for Cool Cats holders. So a lot of cool stuff, right? A lot of fan experiences. For me, it's not worth the $6,000 that it would cost to buy this set right now, right? Like if you go to the set to complete it right now, you're looking at $6,600. You know, back a while ago, I think you could have completed it for around, you know, $2,000, $2,500, something like that, right? Personally, I completed it for $5,400. And I got out right now for $3,000 and I lost $2,400 on it. But I will say this, like the moments that I used with those proceeds, right? Like, yeah, you know, I probably could have sold, you know, my Lamelo Ball for double what I sold it for, or my Luka for double what I sold it for, right? But the timing is everything, right? If I wouldn't have sold those and if I wouldn't have bought my LeBron, I would not have been able to see these moments appreciate $2,000, right? Like this thing has gone up when I bought it for 1,700. The low ask is 3,650 right now. That went up $2,000 and I had a very limited amount of time to act on that moment. So that's just profit in itself right there, right? Same thing with this Tatum. I bought for 450, now it's 750. You know, we're looking at similar moments like I had mentioned on my other videos. We have the Ayton Valley Oop. That one's gone up very significantly. I bought that for 300, now it's 520. The Giannis 279 up to 450. Like a lot of the things that come down to Top Shot is timing, right? So you really have to be active in sniping that market. And if I would not have had the Dapper from those LaMelo moments, then I wouldn't have been able to buy these moments. And personally, I'd just rather have these LeBrons than the LaMelo Cool Cats and the Luka Cool Cat. And the reason why is because just they're more rare, right? Like LeBron out of 999, they're going to burn 490 of those. It's going to be a super rare moment. The Tatum, you know, it's out of 990, they're going to burn like 700 of those. That's a super rare moment in the conference finals. So I would rather hold these long-term in my portfolio, than the Cool Cats, you know, Luka out of 3,500 and LaMelo out of 2,900. So that's where I stand, right? If you look at the individual moments, right, to buy these, and I did this the whole span of Top Shot. I'm looking at this Luka. When it first came out, there's people spending $9,000 on this thing, right? Like it was $5,000 for a while. If you bought it anywhere before March, like you were spending $2,000 on this thing and it stayed stable. So you never knew that it was going to come down, period. Right. So like, I mean, yeah, it came down to about 358 right here in June, but like this thing stayed steady for 2 months, right? At about $2,000. And that's where I bought into it. So I had committed to Cool Cats at that point. But there's a lot of people that bought in higher is basically what I'm getting at, right? So if you were committed to Cool Cats, there's a chance you could have bought in higher. Then we'll look at Anthony Davis, right? This thing came out, it was selling for 1,200. It dropped pretty quickly. 500 is where I picked it up at. And then I saw it fall significantly. And like, it was a big mistake, right? Like my mistake was not knowing the master plan for the roadmap, and I was new, and, things happen. So, the same thing with the Tyler Hero. This thing was going for crazy high. Like I think about it for 200, and now it's going for, $30, right? So a lot of people made mistakes on Cool Cats. It was a roller coaster ride. Top Shot has, incentivized people for holding this set because it was such a hard set to get. But I get how a lot of the perks coming out may seem unfair to people who got in later. But if you got in later, just know that it was less of a risk for you to, get hammered by the market like some of the other people did. And hopefully what you did is bought cool moments that are riding the upside right now, because, if you did, then you can sell and you can buy into other moments that you want in your set and make moves. So, plus, just stick at it. Like I said, it took me forever to get my, first legendary pack. I got one legendary pack, and that changed the whole course of my Top Shot. Like it made my account value go up significantly. I got a legendary Michael Porter Jr. I got a couple really solid MGLEs, and that was something that took me a really long time to get. So once you get your first one, which will happen if you stay persistent, and you keep your collector score up, it's just a matter of time. I know it's going to be hard to get, but I have a feeling that they'll figure it out. That will just make a huge difference in your Top Shot journey. So stay positive. If you don't want to buy, if you want to sit it out on the sidelines for a little bit, that's completely fine. Like I said, I'm not sniping as much right now. I'm staying a little bit liquid and dapper because I think a lot of good stuff got bought up literally in a 24-hour period. So that is a tough thing to navigate, right? So again, thank you for watching. I'm going to shut down the video now. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Tomorrow, I will be releasing the LeBron James, Devin Booker, and Giannis moment giveaways. Go back to my last video and comment on that one if you want to put your name in the running for those moments. But I will do that giveaway sometime tomorrow. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I will see you next time.